Hello, my friends. Welcome. Come on in, make yourself at home. I'm Kat Miller from Amplify Your Influence, and I am so excited to share with you these compelling tips that I've been working on today because I've been thinking a lot about this subject, about how we share our value without coming across like a massive show off. Because it's not very PC to talk about ourselves, right? It can feel like we're bragging or boasting or big noting ourselves, blowing our own trumpet, all the things. But if we don't share our value, if we don't really show people the if we don't communicate our value effectively, then we can't influence people and we can't help them if we're not willing to show it. So it's like this conundrum that people have where they don't know what the balance is between putting themselves up too much, sharing how credible they are and how much expertise they have without coming across like you're a little bit of a, maybe I won't say that word, but I think you know the word I'm meaning. It starts with wah and ends with k, and none of us want to be like this. So we need to show people that we're worth listening to, right? We need to show them, but we also need to make sure that we balance it out. So how do you actually do that? That's what I'm going to be sharing with you in this video. But hello, thanks for joining me on here live. And just give me a yes if you resonate with that feeling. Just give me a yes in the comments if you resonate with wanting to talk about your expertise and your brilliance and your genius zone and all the things, your skills, your knowledge, your experience, all the things that you can help people with. You realize you've got to communicate your value. But on the other hand, you don't want to come across as a massive show off. You are in the right place. I'm going to share 3 main things that you can do that it's going to be super valuable. So if you haven't already, grab a pen and paper and write this down, because we don't want to undervalue ourselves, because then people miss out, our bank accounts miss out, our business doesn't grow, and then it's just not fun for anyone. So I'm going to share 3 little known secrets on how to share your expertise and your brilliance and your credibility without sounding like a boaster. First of all, I need to remind you that no one else can express your value quite like you can. And it's actually our job through our content, through what we share online, to actually show people what we can do for them and actually show our worth. No one else is going to do that for you. That's our job, and it's actually our content's job. And so that means we need to be able to consistently be posting content that shows our value. And so number 1, I'm sharing 3 things on this video. Number 1, how to share your value online without feeling like you're bragging. Number 1 is to show, not tell. Show, not tell. Because we can tell people how great we are, and sometimes we do need to remind people, hey, over the last 10 years and helping hundreds of people, what I've discovered is this. Or, having helped 500 people over the last 3 years, I've discovered that there are some things that most people come up against, and you might want to write these down. So you're dropping in your credibility, but you're showing them how valuable you are rather than keeping telling them. And so this means showing up consistently, showing them that you're good by actually being good. I know it sounds overly simplistic, but a lot of people forget this. Like Frank Kern says in marketing, the best way to show someone that you can help them is by actually helping them. And so I want you to really ask yourself, how much are you sharing really great value, giving generously, showing up, not just once, not just now and then, not just when you feel like it, but consistently. Like if you think about your audience right now, your followers, do they feel like they can really rely on you? Do they feel like you're not going anywhere, that you're not, here today, gone tomorrow, or post madly for a week and then a month later that you forget to post, or you don't post for a whole month? You forget to email, you're not showing up consistently, or you're just kind of posting quotes, or reposting other people's stuff, or just kind of slapping together something rather than really crafting something that's going to be genuinely helpful for them, relevant. A lot of people don't want to give all their secrets away, and you don't have to, but You know, I give away so much and people still pay me because I give away a lot of valuable content, but people still need the path. They still need a personalized roadmap. There's only so much you can get out of my free posts and free blogs and free videos. Eventually, you need expert eyes on your business. You need a clear roadmap, and you need someone to help you do it. So I know that. I know that people couldn't sit there and watch all my Facebook lives and be able to figure it all out themselves. Or maybe they could, but it would take them years and years and years. So people pay to accelerate. So please don't feel like you've got to hold all your good stuff back. You don't. People actually want to work with you because you're helping them, because they're seeing, oh, that's really helpful. What else has she got? If this is what she shares free, obviously what she shares paid. Does that make sense? Shares paid? Yeah, you know what I mean, right? So this means putting yourself out there, and it does require courage and effort and consistency and being loyal to your followers, the people that are watching your life. It means sharing your opinion, sharing your unique views, even though it might ruffle some feathers, because that's what marketing is about. That's what leaders do. That's what influencers do, is they're not afraid to put some people off and repel some people. And you see this all the time on YouTube. As the more likes go up, the more the dislikes go up, because you're always going to attract some people and repel the others. So if you're struggling to get clients right now, you probably haven't shared enough value, or you probably haven't communicated your value, because you have a genius zone that other people need and they don't have. And the more you know your value, the more you'll be able to communicate your value. So some of it actually comes down to a bit of a self-worth thing, of actually really standing behind not just you and your work ethic and your ability to help someone in the moment, but your program. So putting the program on a pedestal, not yourself. And this is how we can share our expertise and our brilliance, by really talking up our program, because our program is not us. Our program is something we created, but it's like someone saying, oh, your kid's so pretty, and the mum going, oh no, she's not. You know, you wouldn't say that. Like she created that kid, so she can say, oh, thank you. You know, so you're not gonna, something that you've created, like your program, you can say, yeah, it's really great. You don't have to say, I'm so great. You know, you don't have to say my coaching, my this, my that. You can say, this program, I've spent so long creating it. I've really worked out and organized the knowledge so it's very step by step. You can follow it. You pour your heart and soul into that program, or that offer, that service, the package that you're creating, and then you elevate that. Or it could be your signature system, like the system that you create. You put that on the pedestal rather than the person. Oh, thank you, Caroline. I appreciate that. So number one, show, don't tell. Show how valuable you are. Because as an entrepreneur, that's your job. That's your job, is to express your worth by organizing your knowledge and offering it to the world. And this may be uncomfortable for some of you, because it involves really showing people how you can help them, telling people how you can help them, and being confident in it. You know, it means not being afraid to be seen and heard and having a voice and have an opinion, because you're far more valuable than you realize, but you're probably earning way less than you deserve. And no one is going to come along and demand that you realize your worth. That's up to you. And you won't last in business long if you don't. If you want to help more people, you've got to be clear on your value, and you've got to let people know about it. And I'm going to share a little bit about how we can do it without coming across in a bragging way. All right, number two is, let me just pull this up. Number two, have a balance of strength and warmth. Have a balance of strength and warmth. Now, there's an amazing book called Compelling People, and I really recommend this book. It's super cool. And what they do is research. They did some research on all these compelling people. So people who have a very large audience, people who have a big following. And what they realize is that compelling people have two very important traits in balance. They have a sweet spot between these two traits. The first trait is strength, and the second trait is warmth. Strength and warmth. So I'm going to unpack what each of them is. So strength is that directness. It's very confident, it's very certain, it's got conviction behind it. It's very symmetrical. You know, when you are in the presence of someone who's very powerful and very strong, you feel this energy exuding, like you trust them, you respect them. And so strength is such an important part of showing our value. We've got to be strong and confident in our conviction and our certainty of who we are and what we offer. Strength is also about competence. So you're super competent, and you know it. You know that you're competent. You have expertise. You deliver results. You have skills. So that's that strength element. And compelling people have this, where they have complete certainty and confidence in what they're offering. However, if we have strength and we don't have warmth, if there's no warmth to it, if we're just like direct and hard, if we're too far on this end of the spectrum, then we're not very likable. We're not compelling. We're not relatable. We can be a bit intimidating. People are like, oh, like they're really powerful, but I'm not sure if I want to get too much in close proximity. Like if we go too far on the extreme, we become scary, right? So that's strength. Warmth, on the other hand, is the care, the empathy, the understanding, the ability to just listen. It's all about the connection. So warmth is that real empathy, understanding, that humanness, the relatability, the vulnerability. A lot of people don't want to be vulnerable online because they think it lowers their value, but it actually increases it. So if you want to be compelling, if you want to have compelling copywriting content, you want to have a good balance between strength and warmth. So have a think about it now. Do you think you're more on the strength side, or do you think you're more on the warmth side? Because most of us naturally fall on one side or the other. Just pop it in the comments box. Do you think you're more strength naturally, more, very easily direct and confident and able to just share your value, and you need to probably dial up the warmth a little bit? So do you feel like strength is your main thing, or do you feel like it's warmth? You're more like making friends with the person instead of actually saying, hey, I can help you. I can absolutely help you with that. Let's go. That real leadership. I mean, both of them are required for leadership. So we need to be able to have that balance. So think about naturally where you go. And if you're more on the strength side, you can ask yourself, how can I turn up the warmth a little bit? How can I just show that, hey, I was just like you, or I am still like you? Bringing in that vulnerability, bringing in those personal stories into when you're sharing your value online, you're sharing your content. Just always bear in mind strength and warmth. It's a sweet spot. If you're more on that warmth side of things and you're very good at relatability, connection, empathy, then maybe you need to actually say, hey, I can help you. If you don't change, this is what's going to happen. This is the consequences of not changing. And you start to step into that confidence a little bit more. All right, so with strength and warmth and sharing your value, I want you to think about the language, because the words that we use in our content evokes emotions in people. It evokes fear and desire if we do it right. And that's what compelling content does. It evokes the pain that people are in. It pushes on their pain point. And there are 7 pain points that people try to avoid, which is what I'm sharing in my upcoming webinar, by the way. If anyone is interested in knowing what these different things are, I don't have time to unpack them all tonight, but I talk about the 7 pain points that your clients are feeling and the words and the language that we can use to help them avoid those pains and realize the trajectory, I can never say that word, trajectory that they are on, and also desires. I've identified that there are 7 main desires that humans have that is solved by service-based businesses like coaching, consulting, authors, speakers, trainers, that type of thing. So with the pain and desire, you've got to be always thinking, how do I language it so that people get a lot of value, but are also moved emotionally? Because it's not just about sharing how-to content. Do this, do this, do this. There's so much information. We can Google anything, anytime on our phones, right? So it's not just sharing information. It's inspiring people to act. That is what valuable content is. Valuable content is not 3 tips. You know, you might position it as 3 ways, 3 secrets, 3 methods, 3 pillars, whatever it is, but it's not just how to, it's actually using story, emotion, pushing on pain points, evoking emotion, evoking desire that actually inspires someone to act. So when you are creating your content, really be thinking through the language, the words that are evoking that feeling. So that's number 2, number 3, to show value, evoke emotion. To show value, evoke emotion, because when we inspire someone to take an action, even a really small action, they attribute that to us, and they're like, wow, she moved me. He moved me. He didn't just entertain me, educate me, inform me. Something shifted, like a belief shifted, or I got a new perspective. I see things differently now. I look at things differently now. I actually went and took action on that thing. And that is what valuable content does. So valuable content, it's about showing, not telling. It's about having a balance of strength and warmth. And it's about really showing value by evoking emotion. And if you want to know how to do this, I'm unpacking it all in my upcoming free webinar. So I recently ran a one-day event where I gave this formula called the compelling copy formula, and I shared the psychology of influence. I talked about the content success roadmap that you can follow when you're creating content, and I also talked about the attract content formula, which is all pieces of my program. And it was so popular and so many people sent me great feedback, so I decided to run a best of event. So I'm running an evening event. It's happening on Thursday the 18th of February. And if you want to avoid being drowned out in the masses online and that sea of noise, and you want to know how to be compelling and get these actual formulas, not just have tips and bits and pieces, but actually have a step-by-step formula, then it's absolutely free. And I'm going to be unpacking how to write influential copy where you can take these principles even further and deeper, like actually sharing some of the power words and phrases that move people emotionally. Actually how to communicate your value in a way that, like, through the language of your content, you can move people in different ways where people trust you, they like you, because I'm giving a whole heap of examples of actually how to use these principles of strength and warmth, how to use the principles of showing but not telling, and evoking emotion, the pain and the desire. So if you want to check it out, I'll just pop that in the comments box now. So it's called How to Attract New Clients with Compelling Content on Thursday the 18th of Feb at 7:30. So I would love to see you there. Check it out. And otherwise, thank you for joining me. Thanks for joining me live. If you're watching the replay, just hashtag replay. I'd love to know, which was your favorite of the tips? I'd love to know. Was it 1, 2, or 3? Was it show, don't tell? Was it balance your strength and warmth? Or was it evoke emotion? So let me know. Give me a 1, 2, or 3 in the comments, or let me know any questions that you have, any comments that you have. What was your favorite tip? Or anything else at all, I'll always personally reply. It was great to have you here, and I look forward to seeing you next Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Take care, my friends. Bye for now.